Hey folks, 5.3, solving multi-step equations. So in the last lesson we learned how to solve one-step equations. Things get a little bit more tricky when we have more than one step, as you may assume. Remember to date your notes, take them out for a nice dinner and a movie. No, just joking, just put down the date. And remember to write your name. Mine is Tara. When solving equations with more than one step, rules can get a little fuzzy. In general, use the reverse of order of operations. When you think about taking apart a bike and putting it back together, you think of it as you would dismantle it and then put it back in kind of the opposite order than you took it off. So the first things that you take off on a bike are the last things that you put back on. And a bike is just, just an example. So when you think of order of operations, that's like taking apart your bike, and putting your bike back together is solving equations. So let's just remind ourselves of the steps in order of operations. We use the mnemonic BEDMAS or PEDMAS. But when we're dealing with equations, we tend to do the adding and subtracting first, and then we deal with the multiplication and division second. And at the very end, we deal with exponents. Now, a good example with dealing with the exponents last is using the Pythagorean theorem. Oftentimes we're seeing something like c squared equals 144. Take the square root of both sides and you get c equals 12. So when I say do exponents last, exponents on variables are generally done last. However, all of these are kind of like fast and loose rules, okay? They sometimes apply and sometimes they don't apply. So you kind of have to take every single equation as it comes. However, remember, the name of the game is isolating the variable as easily as possible. So we're being asked to solve and verify in the first example. So I just want to put a box around where my variable is. It's multiplied by 4.5, but this is the thing that we want to isolate first. What's getting in our way? Oh, 3.2 is subtracted from it. So I want to add 3.2 to this side because its equations are balancing acts. And on the other side of the equal sign, I'm going to also add 3.2. Now, eventually this step, just as a little caveat, this step is not going to be needed, like putting these little things underneath. Eventually what you will be able to do is go like this, and the next step is just going to be 4.5d equals negative 15.3. Okay, but just for now, it's going to be not too bad if we just put this extra step in, just so that we know exactly what we're doing. But just letting you know, next year it's not going to be needed. And actually, by the end of this year, it should not be needed too. Now, I'm noticing 4.5d equals negative 15.3. Now, this is something that you've seen before. No problem. This is just, the remainder of it is just one step. I know that 4.5d, d is multiplied by 4.5. So we need to divide both sides by 4.5. And it's really important that I just don't put down 1 and divide it by 4.5, okay? Each side needs to be divided by 4.5. 4.5 divided by 4.5 is simply 1, so we're left with d on this side. And let's bring up our trusty dusty calculator here. And we have 15.3. 15.3 divided by 4.5 equals 3.4. Now here's the tricky bit. You're noticing that I didn't put in the negative because I know that I'm dividing a negative number by a positive number, so my answer is going to be negative. So I don't need to put the negative in the calculator because I'm actually smarter than the calculator. And so are you. I'm going to put a box around my answer just so that it's easy for my teacher to find. Let's do the verification. So left-hand side, right-hand side. So 4.5d minus 3.2. Remember, I'm going back to the original equation. The right-hand side is really easy. It's just negative 18.5. But I want to change this d to the negative 3.4 that we solved for. So 4.5 times negative 3.4 minus 3.2. Now 4.5 times 3.4 should be negative 15.3. 4.5 times 3.4. 4.5 times 3.4 equals 15.3. And again, I didn't put in the negative here, but I know that a positive number times a negative number is going to be negative. So negative 15.3 minus 3.2, that's going to equal negative 18. 18.5. Left-hand side equals right-hand side, and we're good.